As hundreds of breast cancer survivors gear up to run this weekend's Race for the Cure, thousands of women in Wisconsin are paying it forward through a unique research project on the UW campus.
It's a story only News 3 is bringing you. Andy Choi takes a look through what researchers are calling windows of susceptibility. Andy.
Eric and Sarah, these windows could provide insight into exactly when a woman may be vulnerable to environmental hazards as researchers look at 3 stages in a woman's life: childhood, adolescence, and menopause.
Many studies have been done on environmental exposures, but studies have focused on recent exposures and how they relate to breast cancer risks.
The UW School of Medicine and Public Health are opening a new window of opportunity for cancer research. More specifically, the windows of susceptibility to breast cancer.
The idea, if we know what time that a woman might be more susceptible to the induction of breast cancer, then we can direct prevention strategies, whether primary prevention or chemoprevention, to a woman during that period of her life.
The works of Dr. Michael Gould, an expert on breast cancer genetics, will be part of a 5-year, $500,000 federally funded research project, which includes comparing animal models with archived DNA of 7,000 Wisconsin women.
This particular project in particular, I'm very, very excited about.
10-year breast cancer survivor Mary Pat Berry says the women participating in the study will give input on environmental factors they'd like to see investigated.
Women will often say, they'll often say to us, but I don't have breast cancer in my family. And we have to help these women to express what are some of their concerns on what in the environment might be having an impact on it.
Dr. Amy Trentham Dietz says the research will take a closer look at the environmental risks during a woman's most vulnerable times.
We've known that estrogens are important for a long time, but the idea of relating these windows of susceptibility to environmental factors, I think that's what makes this particular research program fairly new.
The research at the UW is part of a larger national study spanning 8 states, taking a look at those windows of susceptibility across the country.
As you mentioned environmental factors, what are they learning from study participants here in terms of those environmental factors?
That's right. Here in Wisconsin, there are resources dedicated to areas in the Green Bay area where folks may be living near paper mills, industrial areas in Milwaukee as well. And again, this study not only looks at recent exposures, it aims to study exposures that may have occurred during the hormonal landmarks of these women's lives, so all across their lifetimes.
That's such critical stuff. Andy Choi reporting. Thanks so much, Andy.